We are streaming live on WSMV.com and then also on all of our social stuff as well. So I have Tekitha and Prana with me right now. I'm just going to tell you, you're not going to believe it. This is mom and this is daughter.
Yes.
You don't believe, I don't believe it, but you probably get that all the time.
We do, but I honestly, I am surprised every time because I feel every ounce of my age.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, it's funny because people will always be like, oh my gosh, is that your sister? Especially how mom and I interact with each other.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that's my mom. And I love it. Mom sometimes is like, I'm your mom.
But are you not feeling, because like I feel like I'd be like, yes, this is my sister.
I think it is because I'm such a mom that I think to me the implication is like that it's youthful, you know, or
inexperienced? Are you thinking it means inexperienced?
I don't know. Immature. That's good.
think,
Yes.
yeah.
That is what I think I'm picking up. And I know that nobody means that.
At all.
You know?
You look good.
Well, I'll take it.
I love it. Okay,
I'll
so
take it.
these two ladies are putting together some really great stuff right now that they're going to release in the spring. You're in the country space, the Americana space.
Yes.
And this is not someone who's new to this, okay? If for all of my friends who are like 30s and beyond like me, this is the female lead on all of the Wu-Tang stuff. So oh my gosh, when they said, do you know Wu-Tang? I was like, excuse me, I'm in my late 30s, of course I know Wu-Tang. Maybe if I was 20, it might be different, right? But what made you ladies, first of all, want to join together and start creating music?
Yeah, well, I come to my mom when I was like 14, 15 years old and asked her if we could do music together because mom and I have always sung together, like just in a fun way. We freestyle. Mom usually has these huge jam session parties at our house.
Yeah.
And so
her whole life.
Yeah, so doing those things together just made me feel like we could do this like for real, like singing and writing our own songs. And mom said no.
I did.
But I'm very persistent and very convincing. So I obviously changed her mind. Here we are on the red carpet.
I mean, I can't even imagine. I did say no, but I said no because the business is tough and our relationship is the most important thing for me. Her youth was at that time very, it's paramount. Her education is paramount. And I didn't want anything to get in the way of that. And so I had to talk to her a great deal about the importance of keeping our relationship tight, of her understanding the business and taking time to develop and help make sure that she was just ready for the type of work that I do. Prana always says, she's always telling people, my mom doesn't do hobbies because I don't. So if I do something, we're going to take it all the way.
It's either all or nothing, right?
Yeah, and so I really wanted her to know what kind of gamble she was taking, with wanting to work with me. It was going to be a very different dynamic from how we hang out and kick it, at home.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I have little children, and they're not old enough for me to have this conversation with them yet, but some of my favorite parents have said to me, when your kids get older, it's, I'm not your friend, I'm your mom. I'm your mom. But now, I mean, she's in her 20s now, and the relationship is, I'm not going to say it's changing, but it's developing in this way, because now she's an artist too.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, the funny thing is, she's been calling me her best friend since she was 10.
Yes.
And
I was like, you will take this title. Okay.
And so I always had to kind of make sure that the line was understood, but you're absolutely right. Probably around when Prana turned 18 or 19, the stark development, the beauty of her kind of coming into her wisdom, even though it's young wisdom, it's still wisdom nonetheless. And that actually lends itself to how we work together, how we're business partners. We're 50-50 in everything that we do. It's not like I'm running the show and I'm just dragging her along.
You're the momager or something.
No, I am no momager. I'm none of that. No.
Yeah.
We are.
They think I'm
equal.
cracking the whip back there.
Oh my God, no, it's really
like,
bad.
did you call blah blah today?
It's really bad. It's a thing. But no, it makes the work and the music, and you end up feeling all of that passion that we have for what we do and the way that we feel about each other and working with each other. Like it's very unique. I don't really have very many examples besides my mother and myself, because it's the same thing with her and I. I love my mother the way that she loves me. So
if only she was here tonight. Next time, if we get a +1, we're bringing Grandma with us.
Yeah.
She's great.
Come on, Yaya, come on down.
I gotta come.
Of all of the industries you could have chosen, or maybe all of the genres, I should ask this differently, of all the genres you could have chosen, why this? And what hurdles have you had to overcome?
Well, this genre, we really happened upon doing country music because our goal when we were making music together was just to have it be very stripped down and acoustic, a lot more live instrumentation compared to hip-hop. Sure. And so when we were thinking of like, okay, where can we meet some more music people, Nashville's like really the only other music town. And so we came here just with that goal in mind and of separating ourselves from the Wu-Tang shadow, and not in a negative sense, but just, yeah. And so, you know, we started meeting people and showing them our music, and they were like, this is country. And we were like, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
We really didn't know. It was not intentional. It was, you know, I'm a lover of the acoustic guitar, a lover of the fiddle, the cajon, and things like that. Hi! Speaking of fiddle, Renee plays on like 6 of our songs on the album. So there's just like this need for the music to stand on its own and for our voices to be heard. So it really wasn't until executives and other artists and other musicians were like, no, this is country music. And I was like, oh crap, okay, that's freaking cool.
And I think also because like we're so outside of it in terms of our relationship with like recreationally listening to country is like wasn't as much as every other genre, but now we have such an even greater appreciation for the history of country and for its place in the music world. And so it's all been a great learning experience. And honestly, although there have been hurdles, because obviously this is a genre that is still working on different stories being a part of the country music.
And acceptance, we could say acceptance.
And so surprisingly, I think this was the perfect time because there are so many people that have done the work ahead of us. Like Mickey Guyton, for example, has really put in her hours on being a black woman in country music. And so now it has made the path just a little bit easier for us. And I found that most people have been very open and accepting and graceful towards us being a part of it, especially coming from hip hop, which is most people view it as like the complete opposite when really they're cousins. You know?
You know what's interesting? I think one of the hurdles that we've actually been confronted with is not inside. It's trying to get our community to understand that they like country music too. When you've been ostracized from something, you kind of innately want to be like, I don't want to be bothered with it anyway. When the reality is, we are a culture and a people who really are very accepting of all things, and so we have to try to change the myth around country and let them know that we're welcome over here. Come check it out. You know, that's the hurdle that we're dealing with every day.
You don't know it, but you just gave me the perfect soundbite, because at Channel 4, we're actually coming up in February putting together, one of our anchors is putting together a whole 30-minute special specifically on black people in country music. And so he said, anytime you see any man or woman of color on the red carpet tonight, ask them some questions around this. And you just delivered. I'm just going to guarantee it. That's going to be a soundbite that gets you. So
amazing.
Thank
you. I'm glad you guys are actually doing that. It means a lot to all of us who are just trying to get in the door and be heard and be seen. And the fact that you guys are taking the initiative to do that is makes my heart happy. Thank you.
Tekitha, Prana.
So nice to meet
Have
you.
so much fun tonight. Thanks for being here. Girls.